G'day folks, this is where I'm at the moment with the sliding fiddle yard. You can see that the catches are on now, and also the masonite sides to protect the stock and stop it from falling off either on the front or the back. This is in the backmost position, and you can see that it lines up with the end yard, and there's room for a couple of locos on the roads up there. Not all the roads will handle two, but certainly 4 or 5 of them will. This is one of the index plates at the end of the sliding yard, and you can see the holes there to select the track positions, and the bolt is pulled back by a heavy gauge wire, which is actually a coat hanger, through this sliding mechanism here. As you can see, if I bring my hand in, it just pulls the bolt back, and it's spring loaded, so it returns and stays in the hole. We don't want the pin jumping out of the hole when I'm not around, and the board moving out of position. You can see there's a reasonable amount of the bolt that passes through the hole, and if I withdraw it to move the board, you can see it come back through. There's plenty of bolt there to hold the thing in position. Now, for me to move the yard, it's just a matter of approaching the handles, pull them both in towards the centre of the yard, and then just move along, select the next road and release. Or if you want to, you can let the bolts slide along the plate and then they find the next hole, although that's a bit hard. It's a bit of a jerky action, but it can be done that way if you need to. And then obviously all the way to the end road, you can work your way back, etc, etc. and so on. Now, this board also will be below a branch line terminus. The branch line terminus will be sitting up here, so I've got this much space between the branch line terminus and the sliding fiddle yard. Now that seems quite good. You can get your hand under there, but if there's a problem, if there's a derailment, or if I need to clean the tracks, it's not that easy. So what I've done is given the board quite a good range of movement, and what you can do is slide it out this far, now that's where the edge of the board will be for the upper level, so you can see I can quite easily reach the track here. You've got to be able to get at these things, otherwise it's a waste of time. Now, this board has 7 roads, 6 for storage and 1 is a release road. So this road here with the little wagon on it is actually the release road, and it has to be that one because it needs to travel all the way across to the locos on this side of the rear board. So what it has to do is have this full range of movement. So this will give access to each track. And you can see a loco can come out here onto this release road, which will always be clear. You can then move onto here. We then bring the release road back to this position, which will then allow the loco to travel up the board out to the main track out of the area, and then it can either go on to Great Chesterford's loco shed, or it can reverse back onto a series of coaches or wagons that are in the yard. This is just some detail now of the mechanism. Fairly simple, employing the centre part of a hinge, the hinge bolt, the coating of wire as mentioned before, into another hinge bolt, and the centre part of his hinge, springs, washers. This U-shape bracket here was actually intended to be a mounting device for the fluorescent lights I have in this room, but it was never used. It's intended to go over a beam, and it had threads on the end of it, but it's been modified like everything else has. This is the entrance road, or where it will be anyway, and a train can come in and we can pick any one of whatever roads we want, and as you know, the loco disengages at the other end and away we go. So that's about all I can tell you, I think, otherwise we'll start getting boring. Cheers, Gormo.